week 2, I've taken our agency to $100,000 per month in revenue. So just quick recap on last week. We are doing over $20,000 per month in revenue, and I just want to share with you some of the details. Now, watch that video if you like. It's in the description. It might be worth getting a first update so you know what's happening. So first thing is I want to talk about, so I've got my notes here. I've been writing them down during the week. Good news to start off the week. We've got 2 new clients. We actually signed one of them probably about a week and a half ago. We should have fallen into first week's update, but we didn't because we were doing some like final invoicing, contracts, all that jazz. And I don't like to celebrate until they've paid because I've been burned before. My heart's been broken before, okay? So that's important. So, yeah, so I want to talk about a couple of things. So both of those clients actually came from referrals. I want to touch briefly on, I want to make this an update and then lessons that I learned from it. Hopefully there's some value in it for you. And this is especially for anyone that's kind of, I think a lot of the lessons apply to people at the same level or under and maybe a little bit above, but I'm not trying to be a teacher or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I'm learning. You do what you want with your life. You're a strong, independent, whatever. Okay. So the lessons that I learned this week are referrals are really key. So we used to have a 20% recurring referral fee that we pay to anyone that sends us a client. For example, if we were to charge a client $1,000 as a random example, $1,000 per month, we would pay $200 of that to someone that referred them, right? If we found the client by ourselves, obviously there's no referral fee, common sense. And so what we found is we used to have this last year, but we set it up a little bit wrong and we were losing money. We were kind of undercharging our client and then we paying a referral fee on top of that. That was a big mistake. So we stopped doing that, but we actually reinstated that recently. And so what we're doing now is we're charging our client and then we give 20% of that. We actually increased our prices maybe 3-4 months ago because, well, first of all, because we wanted to. Second of all, because it made a lot of sense to do it for a lot of reasons. Maybe I'll save that for another video. But it's important to charge a fair price to your clients. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong clients and etc. That's another video. But so what we found was that we have maybe 3 or 4 agencies we've met over the time. So like I've built connections with a few different people and we have contacts from Twitter or from Instagram or from different places. My first mentor, his name's Dominic. He actually helped me out with my first few clients. I found a couple on my own, but he referred me a few people as well. And that was really good. And he's got TikTok and everything. I'll tag him somewhere. But the thing that I noticed was that you can make people very, very incentivized to send you clients by having a nice process. The reason for that is, for example, if you charge $1,000 and they get 200 every month, they know that they're going to get 200 every single month from you. So if they send you a second one, a third one, and so on, a lot of the time, if you're charging more than that, because agencies will tend to charge more than 1,000, I'm just giving you an example. For one of our clients last year, I think we were paying like 500, 600 referral every month. And then we did that again and again. And so we had a contact that was making like 1,500 a month for doing nothing, for doing absolutely nothing, right? So, I mean, that's a salary in a lot of countries, right? So it's a big deal. And all they did was connect 2 people into a conversation, and that conversation got converted into a sale, right? And there was, I then started supplying them services, whatever. So for those of you that are doing either a one-time referral fee or you don't have a referral fee, I'd recommend you do it. If your service costs $1,000 per month, again, I'm using random numbers for simplicity. My maths isn't great. 1,000 allows me to do quick percentages. But if you're doing $1,000 per month and you say, well, no, I don't want to do referrals. I don't want to do 20 or 15% referral recurring. And we do have hours for a year, by the way. So after a year, it cuts off. And I don't want to do that. Well, just increase your price a little bit and take your referral into account on your pricing, right? What's the difference between charging 1,000 and 1,200, 1,300? It's not a big difference, right? So just do that. And then instead of having just one channel to acquire clients, which a lot of people do, they have like either cold email or cold DMs or inbound or whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just go on Twitter. A lot of people talk about these things. Twitter's the place to learn everything, in case you're wondering, if you're watching this outside of it. But so it immediately opens up a ton of channels to get clients from. People are now doing the work for you. It's like you've just hired salespeople in a way, right? So suddenly next time one of our partner agencies, like there may be a paid ads agency, they've got someone, they need emails, they email us, they message us, and they say, oh hey, we've got someone that needs emails, cool, here's the referral fee, everyone gets paid, everyone's happy. Client gets a great service, our referral gets money, we get a new client, everyone's happy, right? It's win-win-win. That's what we want. Michael Scott said it best, all right? You want a win-win-win.
Win-win.
Okay, I want to stop being a loser. Okay, so what else do we know? So we're gonna move away from referrals. I don't know if I mentioned, yes, we got 2 new clients. I didn't mention what they're in, but one's a influencer. He's got about 400,000 followers, at least on one of his channels. I think more overall, doing really well, really great influencer. I'm excited about working with them. They have a really good product. They have a big list. We're gonna absolutely make them a shit ton of money. It's just that simple. Because I can just see what we need to do. We're strategizing at the moment, but I'm really excited about that. The other clients, a car brand, they sell car parts and for specific cars, really cool brand as well. We're going to add a lot of revenue to the business just because they're basically not capitalizing on email almost at all. It's taken about 3 months to close them. We closed them by Messenger. Was it Messenger or email? It was email, but it was just exchange of messages. We started on Messenger, then we moved to email, etc. So we closed the client there. Really excited about both of those. The other thing I want to talk about is delegating the boring stuff. This is really important, right? So I have a process that I do, which is auditing. So whenever a client shows interest, we audit their account, then we show them what's wrong with their business. Then we, if we show a lot of value, they tend to work with us. Our closing rate's generally really good, I think. I think close like 60-70% of people we talk to, if they're qualified, probably maybe more, I don't know. But I don't measure it really, but I should probably. What we found is there's an audit part of the process that I really hate to do. It's really boring, it takes a lot of time. I don't like doing it. I have ADHD as well, which doesn't help. It makes it tricky to focus on things that I find boring. And I'm not just saying I'm diagnosed. I know a lot of people say they have ADHD, but anyway, this is not my podcast, or maybe it is, I don't know. So what we found was that by what I've done is I've separated that process, and I gave it to one of the people on my team to take over that process. So we have 8 people on our team, most of them are full-time. We're doing some restructuring at the moment, but I'll talk about that another time. And so I gave the most time-consuming part of the process to someone on my team. Now they deal with it on a daily basis, and all I have to do is record a video that before it was taking me like 30 minutes per client to do that. Now it will take me about 5 minutes to do that. That's how valuable it is to do that. So you hear a lot of people talk about leverage, they talk about all these things, and essentially it's just a way for us to maximize our time. Everyone has obviously the same 24 hours in the day. So you need to find a way to apply leverage within you and then within your team. So your team's your own leverage. So you need to use that as much as possible, right? This is not a leverage talk. Go watch Alex Hormozi about that. He knows all about leverage, and he's the one teaching it all the time, right? He knows what he's talking about. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm putting my team there to do a lot of the work for me, and they've just saved me, I don't know, they've saved me hours and hours a week by asking someone to do that. Not to mention, I now do the part that's more fun, which is recording the video. I enjoy that part. I think that's the part I do quickly, and I don't have too much trouble with that. Anyway, so find tasks that are boring for you. So a lot of people go, oh, this is a task that takes a long time, so I'm going to give that. I would also recommend the boring tasks as well. Don't fucking do the boring tasks yourself. When you can start affording to pay someone to do it, give them away, because you'll be the best at what you like to do. And yes, we all have to do boring tasks, but if they're tasks that are recurring and you have to keep doing them and you're like, oh, I hate doing this, we naturally are really good at things that we like. That's kind of a fact of life. And we're naturally kind of sluggish and slow at things that we don't like, or we try not to learn. At least I'm like that. I think a lot of people are like that. So we have to do boring things sometimes. That's a fact of life. But if you can find a way around it, just do it. Because pay for someone to do it. We already have an employee anyway, so I just pass the work on to them. What I did is I create an SOP for it. So it stands for Standard Operating Procedure. I created an SOP, which is a set of instructions that if you follow them, if you don't know what SOP is, follow those instructions, give them over to someone, they can repeat the exact work you're doing. You then don't have to do that yourself. Okay, so that's that. And then, so I split that work into two. I kept the part that I like to do, the part that I can do very fast, save myself 2+ hours a week. I would argue potentially more, and I made our process a lot more efficient, and etc. So that's that. We're also hiring a designer. It's exciting stuff. So we've been doing some interviews this week for that. We've already got one full-time designer. We're hiring a second one, so I'm excited about it. We grew in the wrong direction last year, so I want to fix that. This year we hired too many email marketers, so now we're adjusting because we need to balance it out with designers. I had to pay. I didn't have to, but I paid for a consulting call to actually find out that I structured my team really badly, and it's all my fault really. And so what I have done is I realized that our margins were a lot lower than they should be. They're under 20%. And what I found out is people keep talking about agencies having 50% plus margins. I thought most people were talking shit, but turns out they are not. And turns out I was doing things wrong. So a big part of 2024 is we want to move to a 50% margin. So we're transitioning slowly to from 20 to 50%. And I know exactly what needs to be done for that. We just need to hire heavily on designers, and there's a few other structures that we need to do. But yeah. We're also improving our onboarding process. This is really important because on a weekly basis, you've got people coming in to your business. So if you're doing service delivery, you've got people coming into your business. They've just paid you money. You want to make sure you don't have buyer's remorse because that sucks. And so what you want to do is make sure you have a step-by-step kind of process of week 1, this happens. Week 2, this happens. And more importantly, share these updates with the client, because we've had it in the past before where we either made the mistake of not updating clients as frequently as we should. Then they think you're not doing work. Then they say, well, what's going on? You're not doing work. Then you have a client that's upset. We haven't particularly lost a client over it. I don't think we ever have. But we had clients upset about it. And it wasn't that we weren't doing the work, but it was that we were not updating them. So report really frequently. And the way I like to explain it is plan what you're going to do, tell them what you've planned, do what you're going to do, then tell them what you've done. Okay, that's something I learned many years ago, but that's really important. So tell them about the plan, tell them once you've done it, then you've got 2 updates instead of 1, and then tell them as you're doing it as well. That's kind of a third thing. Don't spam them though. No, don't spam. So, and then the other thing is we're building a new website. Me and our designer our designer is actually my brother as well. We've been working on our new website. It's nearly done. I just need to record a VSL for it. I would like to do something different to the classic VSL. Everyone has the same style of video. It's like, let me show you how you can increase revenue, blah, 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 right? And I want to do something a little bit differently, because this, I think, is a little bit overused, and more importantly, I think it starts to become ineffective in the world of like agencies and so on. And also, I don't want to copy everyone. Like, our current VSL is a bit of a copy, and I did it when we had started out, but I think it sucks, and I want to do a better one. So I've got a few ideas. So I'm going to spend like a day or 2 recording that. Probably not this week because I've got too many things to do and go onboarding and stuff. But yeah, so that's it for updates for this week, and I'll see you on the next week.